Hello, okay, here in this video, for a long time now I've been speaking out against the division. What have I told you about the division amongst the genders? Didn't I not tell you that the court system helps it along and women know this? And so therefore women railroad men on a regular basis because they know they can get by with it? Well, here's a prime example. Now, do you suppose if you was a man and you be tended to have cancer? That's right, you be tended to have cancer and you solicited for charity to collect money so you could support your drug habit? That's right. And then you got caught doing this shit? That's right, got caught in the middle of your life. You took a bunch of money from people so you could have your drugs, okay? And what are you supposed to happen? And they were felony charges? Don't you suppose you'd be behind bars? Prison? Yes, you would. I guarantee you would be. And what did I tell you the courts love to do when it comes to the opposite gender? Yeah. Slap them in the hand. Don't do it again. Go home. You have a boob and you have hoe. That's right. Because you have a boob and you have hoe and you have children. Where did the children come from? Oh, that's right. Children. She couldn't have had children without a guy, could she? No, she couldn't have. But, see, there you go. This is what I'm telling you. Proven example, okay, is in a story you're about to watch here. This is another classic fucking example. Here's a community speaking out, saying they want this woman locked up for a long time. And a real boot in the ass is the woman's husband was a cop. That's right. The woman's husband was a cop. Now you're going to say, well, because the husband was a cop, she got a lenient sentence. No. If the woman's husband hadn't been a cop, she'd have got a lenient sentence. And because the woman's husband was a cop, she just still gets a lenient sentence. The reason she got a lenient sentence is because she has a hole between her legs. And that's the bottom line. That's the reason she got a lenient sentence. So she gets 90 days in jail. And then they say 10 years of extensive probation. Yeah, you know how extensive probation will be for her because she has a hole between her legs? Oh, not very extensive at all, I guarantee you. That's right. They'll drug check her, make sure she's not doing drugs. That's about it. She'll go on with her life just like nothing ever happened. But now if this had been a guy, he'd be behind bars for years. You know how the whole community in this story, you're going to see where the community spoke out. They wanted her to serve years in prison. That's right. The community spoke up. The community wanted her behind bars for a long time to come. What she done. And of course, the court system, they keep that division going, and they slapped her in the hand, regardless of what the community wanted. Now, if we turned this situation around and been the guy, there would have been no slap in the hand. The guy would have been locked up for fucking years, not the rest of his freaking life. But because she has a hole between her legs, she gets by with it. And then you wonder. Why women do what they do. Because they already know they can get by with it based on the fact that they have a hole between their legs. And if you're born with a dick between your legs, you're basically fucked. You can be a bad boy, you can be loaded with money. You can be a bad boy so that you can have a girl in your life that won't keep you anyhow. And you can treat each other like dirt. It can happen again. Somebody can kill somebody. Okay, you can just shit on each other and call that love because you have no idea what love is. And you can go from the next to the next to the next until you wind up with AIDS or herpes or crabs or something. Okay? Or you wind up in jail. Or whichever way it goes, or you wind up dead. Okay? Or, for all you pussy whipped bad boys, I hope you enjoy paying child support for this woman and this woman and this woman and this woman for all these kids that you're giving her. She loves collecting your money and leaving you sleep in a cardboard box. She don't care. It's fucking sickening. It's fucking disgusting. Okay? But here's an example of the courts keeping the division between the genders. This is what your government, your global elite wants. And this is exactly why this judge does what he does. Because he's on his knees for somebody like, oh, my good buddy David. That's right, my good buddy David Rothschild. He's on his knees for him, That's right. Yeah, I spoke about Rothschild, didn't I? Yeah. Global elite, that's right. That's why this judge does what he does, because he takes his orders from criminals. and he sentences people to serve time based on listening to criminals. How can this judge honestly put somebody behind bars and call them a criminal when he's listening to criminals himself, when he's taking orders from criminals and helping to keep the division amongst the genders? It's fucking disgusting. Watch this news report. Leave your comments and opinions. Next video, you have a good one.
In other news now, she did what some have called despicable. Ann Kroll pretended to have stage 4 cancer so that she could get money from people and feed her prescription drug addiction. Today, the mother of 3 young girls was sentenced for her crime. 9 News reporter Anastasia Bolton spent the morning in the courtroom. Anastasia, some are disappointed with this verdict.
They certainly are, Kyle. People who've been touched by Ann Kroll's lies wanted her to go to prison and to go to prison for a long time and told the judge that they wanted that. However, Ann Kroll will not be going there. She will be spending about 90 days in the county jail. Beyond that, Kroll will be on intense supervised probation for 10 years. Earlier this spring, she pled guilty to felony theft and felony charitable fraud charges. Our cameras were not allowed in the courtroom, but I was there when Kroll tearfully addressed the court, calling her addiction, quote, insanity, turning to the victims in the room and saying she was sorry. Her husband, Richard, used to work for the Lakewood Police Department. He was forced to resign because lots of donations to treat Ann's fake cancer came from the officers and the police employees. J.J. Beatty helped raise money for Ann. She now has an inoperable tumor.
This is despicable, and her husband's claim that he didn't know is a lie. There's no way he could have known. I feel horribly betrayed. I feel betrayed, and I feel betrayed for the 28 million other people that live with this disease that she made a mockery of. Like the judge said, she could have stolen from people she knows, but she made a story up, a big story up, that she knew would bring sympathy to her. And that's unforgivable.
The Lakewood police chief addressed the court this morning asking for Ann Kroll to go to prison. Her husband, Richard, was there as well. He, of course, asked the court to keep his wife away from prison because she has 3 young daughters to raise. And, of course, the judge in this case sided with him and is not sending her to prison for a long time. I should point out that Ann Kroll says she's been in treatment, in drug addiction treatment, for the last 15 months, and she is clean. Kyle?
Wow, what an emotional morning. Anastasia, thank you very much.